fun last Monday, a week ago, filling in for John Burton from 9 to 11. That was a very quick 2 hours. We had a good time. Of course, it was pretty easy coming off the London game. Really no reaction today to really get to. Although, if you notice, Damon Keene is in here today. He was out Thursday and Friday. He'll probably be a little bit more on the quieter side today. Won't be looking to jump at his microphone to turn it on to get in there. Probably be, you look at him, he's got his hoodie on and seems a little
camouflage,
a bit covered up.
Camouflage.
Yeah, camouflage, like don't look at me, because usually I'm decked out in all orange, and today seems a little bit more subdued.
Yes,
Damon Keene.
Mr. Darren, I'm very depressed right now, but I'm going through recovery.
Well, you should be used to this.
Oh, wow.
Well, I was really,
you just went right there. didn't you?
Boom.
Well,
Yeah,
thanks a lot,
I
Greg.
lose to Alabama. I'm depressed. UT fan on the wall. Boom.
Well, I was actually expecting us to have a game where we might not win, but I just didn't expect the collapse when you get excited in the first half. You know?
Halftime, you were probably dancing.
Oh, man,
weren't you?
I was dancing. Then I'm riding with somebody who had some music on that I couldn't stand, so that was making it even worse. But that's a whole different story. So, yeah, it was kind of depressing, very depressing.
Well, we will talk with one Vince Ferrara coming up at 3 o'clock from 99.1 The Sports Animal in Knoxville. Can't wait to get his reaction and the reaction in that market, because kind of along the lines, Greg, of what Damon just said, I don't think it's because Vols fans were like, what? We lost in Tuscaloosa? Like, so disappointing. Or fire this, or get rid of that, or change this. Although that's probably going on. It's really about what happened, right? It was like two different games. It was like the first half was all UT. The second half was really all Alabama. I mean, I don't think anybody saw the second half coming, where basically Tennessee would just lay a big egg.
Some questionable calls. I'll give you, okay, Vols fans. Okay, I'll put that out right there, because you got a little bit of that, but not enough to be outscored 27-0 in the second half, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not. You can't make any excuses for that. You put the ball on the ground, and Alabama just came out at halftime and punched them in the mouth, and Tennessee didn't respond. And they made the plays, and, well, you don't put the ball on the ground, but guess what? Every turnover is a forced fumble, right? And so Alabama, I think, bowed up and became Alabama in that second half and said, hey, we're going to win the game, and we're better than you, and they proved it. That was Alabama in the top tier,
sure,
and that's Tennessee to chip away at it.
Yeah,
Greg,
right.
can I ask the question?
Sure.
Greg, would you go for fourth down twice though, like that? Like
not in your minus territory. What was it at the 48? I didn't like that. I mean, I think you make Alabama drive the field on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, look, it's the ultimate second guess, right? If you make it, everybody loves it. Greatest call ever, greatest, right? That's the move you should have done. Love being aggressive. That's our coach. That's the style we play. And when it doesn't work, you know what happens. Everybody's going to question it. Like, really? Well,
you know what I did? I went back and watched it because I was doing the TSU game on these here airwaves. I thought he didn't trust his defense.
Really?
Which has
surprising.
been I got a feeling that, hey, why would you not put them down there and make Alabama drive it 80, 90 yards against you, and take some time off the clock with a lead? I don't know. I thought the risk, obviously hindsight, we know that, but I think the risk and reward were not equal. And I thought the risk was greater than the award. What were you going to do? Have a first down at midfield. What's to come of it? You give them the ball in plus territory. I didn't like the move. No.
So tell me if you see where I'm going with this. I kind of feel like Tennessee and the Tennessee Titans, the Tennessee Vols and the Tennessee Titans, have something in common. Any idea where I'm going with this? It's not their color scheme. We know that.
No, and I don't think anybody thought Tennessee was going to be national championship worthy. They'll probably lose to Georgia, but they're still going to be on the cusp of a bowl a New Year's Day bowl, and where is this in Heupel's progress? He doesn't have the players he had last year. Okay,
I think they're going 8-4.
Yeah, and well, and I don't know that's a bad. I mean, it's not the expectation on this team was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, and especially with who you had, and you've got some, and so you're doing it with running the ball and defense, right? And in my mind, what the comparison is, I think Tennessee Vols will get bowl eligible, and the Tennessee Titans won't.
Okay, that's a
joke.
I thought
It's
you were
a joke.
I know.
Come
I
on.
know.
Hey, Darren,
The Titans will not get bowl eligible.
Darren, I think I have to agree with Justin too, because I think a lot of Tennessee fans expect us to play like we did last year when we had Cedric Tillman and Jalen Hyatt
And Hendon Hooker.
And it's just, and you can tell Milton is just not the same.
Well, and you've also lost your leading receiver this year.
Yeah,
So
right.
Yeah.
that doesn't help. So this is where I was going with this. Tell me if you agree with this or not. I think both coaches know, both teams know what they have in their quarterback, and yet they're just not sure if they need to make the move or not because they know what they have. And the reality is, it's not saying one is better on the Titan side. It's more about, well, let's find out if he is better. And on the Vol side, it's like Joe Milton, the great guy, great team guy. He's paid his dues. He's been there a long time, but is it time to see the young guy? Is it
time to put Nico out there?
It's time to see the young phenom.
To ask me that, and I don't mean to kick the can down the road. Ask me after the Kentucky game this Saturday and see what happens there. Not this week. No, I don't want to put him in Nico on the road at Kentucky right now.
Okay,
I just don't.
Not fair to him.
Yeah, and they got beat by Alabama. Guess what? They lose to Alabama every year.
Yeah.
Let's don't overreact to this.
Yeah, that's not Milton's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm not so sure. I mean, they know both Tannehill and Milton. You know what they are. You just do. Like, there's no mystery at all.
I don't think you can actually, and the red shirt component won't come into it too, but a player can play up to 4 games and still maintain that extra year of red shirt eligibility. It used to be if you took one snap, boom. And I like this, and you get to see it's almost like a free agency thing. But I don't know. I think you stick with Milton. I mean, the Florida loss, I think who gives you the best chance to win right now? It's Joe Milton, because I don't think it's time to let's see what Nico has.
I agree with you, Darren.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Darren. I think that's what they're doing. Like you said, Tannehill, they're sort of like, well, we're going to play this out. That's what they're doing with Joe Milton. I mean, because he's been given 2 other chances to start.
Well, Tannehill's hurt, okay?
Yeah.
And so
But
there's a different
He is who he is, though, Greg.
Well, I know, but I think he's the right one out there right now because he gives them the best chance to win. Titans, where they are, is not Tannehill's fault.
But do we know that, though, that he's the best chance to win?
Well,
do we know that for sure?
No, but and we all know where it's headed. Let's see. You come out of the bye week, and is it going to be Levis? We'll soon find out.
I think
right?
it's going to be Levis,
yeah,
right?
It has to be.
Like,
I mean, in my mind.
There's no point in trotting Willis out there. You speaking of, what you have.
Who gives you the best chance to win?
Like
That's
Willis,
the thing you've got to decide. It's not about, we did blah, blah, blah. You, as a coach, who gives me the best chance to win that game?
Yeah.
Who is that?
Right now?
Willis? I don't think so.
No.
But Levis? I don't know either.
Don't know.
Yeah, so there you go.
But then you go with the I don't know over, Willis just isn't.
The devil you know and the devil you don't. What is that saying?
Yeah. And so you go with you don't. Let's find out, right? Like, Willis is not the answer.
But I just don't think it, and back to the initial thing, is I just don't think it's time for Nico to come in for Milton right now. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that it's Milton's fault. I'm just saying at this point, Vols fans, the coaches, they know what Joe Milton is. Like, he is good enough to win them 8-9 games this year. That's what he is. And if you're cool with that this season, then that's fine. Then just stay with him, and then you start. Then you start next year with Nico, and you're going to ride him for the next several
and I think
years.
the Kentucky game is sort of pivotal on where they will go to. If they win it, they're still playing for a top level major bowl game, and that'll put them at 6 wins. And I guess Georgia's the only losable game they have left, right?
No, they got Missouri. They got Missouri
on the road.
Yeah, they got Missouri. That's going to be
that will. I would say that the Vols would be favored in that game.
At Kentucky, Connecticut at home. That's a win. At Missouri, Georgia at home, Vanderbilt at home.
So
you have
9-3.
Well, you have 3 teams that are
Kentucky, Missouri are the swings, right?
Right. Yeah. So I'm saying you got 3 games where. Georgia, you're probably chalking up as a loss. And now what happens between Kentucky and the Missouri games? Is that 2 wins? Is it 1 win? Is it no wins?
Are you sure about Georgia? Because, Brock Bowers was the main go-to there. I'm just throwing it in.
I know. You guys got Georgia's number. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that he meant a lot to him, though.
I know. Georgia, that's – so you don't – I'm saying you don't think Georgia's a –
I'll
just think about what you just said.
Do you know how much
game.
Losing him moved the line? How much – what do you think?
I might maybe 3 points.
No.
Half a point
Half a
to
point.
a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lose a quarterback. I don't care. Bowers is maybe the best player in the draft.
Maybe.
Right? Yeah, but he doesn't move the line as much as if they lose their quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean, wow? Is that like an epiphany?
I just want to look at Georgia and see him play.
By the way, he could be back by that game. The game's November 18th. He could be back.
He's got the same injury Tillman had. I don't think.
Or Tannehill last year. Same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yep.
It's the same thing. And maybe he's not. I'm not saying he is. I'm saying, but they are certainly not ruling him out.
What's the thing? I've never heard of it before. It's
the
called
tightrope.
The tightrope. Have you? Let me ask you this.
No.
I've covered sports.
I know.
I have written about more dang injuries. And Eric, I actually could teach a biology class on where the body parts are.
I learned about sports by listening to you.
Well, then then I failed. So
it's not that though.
I have failed miserably. But I never heard of what is it? The shoestring
tightrope.
The tightrope surgery. Tell me when that came into existence.
Well,
seriously,
think about it. Think about the evolution of all that. So we never heard of high ankle sprain, right? You had
or
an ankle
turf.
sprain.
I never heard of turf toe.
I mean, there's all kinds of like new things that we've come up with that we used to never say, right? So we're not in the medical field. I don't know how it evolves into tightrope. Like, how does that come out of thin air? Like, we've just learned about this in the last year, right? Tightrope surgery?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's the Google. It is the most popular of surgeries among athletes with that kind of injury. It accelerates recovery from the high ankle sprain.
I know, but when did it morph into tightrope surgery? That's what I want to know.
Wikipedia, what the hell is tightrope surgery?
And when did it come about?
Siri, help me.
All right, we'll take a break. We're wide open this first hour if you want to get involved. Lots to react to over the weekend. And if you want to do that, we've got a phone line and a text line. 615-844-5600. That's 615-844-5600. More of the McFarland Show on this Monday. Next.
In a single moment, everything can change. When a player's sudden cardiac event brought a national football game to a halt, it shone a spotlight on the importance of CPR readiness. Now, with youth sports in full swing, the American Heart Association is rallying parents and coaches to be ready in an emergency. To be ready, learn hands-only CPR. It's a skill anyone can learn in minutes. Visit heart.org/hands-only-CPR and become a lifesaver today.
I've got a unique vacation idea for you that's right here in the United States. If you're ready for a vacation that's fun and downright affordable, listen up. It's driving distance for many of you, so no planes, no airline delays, no hassles. It's Branson, Missouri, the entertainment capital of the Midwest. Live music for everyone. Branson has 3 beautiful, enormous lakes, water attractions, live shows, great food, and tons of entertainment. It's a perfect vacation for you and your family, or if you're retired and you want to have a great time. And you can stay and in Branson for as low as $99 a night. Please understand, this is not a timeshare offer. It's a real vacation for as little as $99 a night. We've got a free vacation guide we want to send you right now. All you have to do is call for complete details. Get your free Branson, Missouri guide right now by calling this number.
800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. That's 800-413-3953.
In Tennessee, 967,430 people struggle with hunger, and 295,570 of them are children. That's 1 in 7 who struggle with hunger, and 1 in 5 are children. People who are hungry are not necessarily living on the streets. They may be in your child's classroom, in your neighborhood, or just down the street. In addition, many of these people live in food deserts, which are areas more than 10 miles from the nearest grocery store. Often there are limited resources to get food, and the only option is fast food or convenience markets. While processed food may help with hunger pangs, it provides little to no nutrition. What began in 2008 as a dream to buy land, grow food, and give it away has recently developed into a way to serve and impact more individuals in the community. God has blessed our mission to be a healthy food source to those in need so much, By Faith Farm had to create a nonprofit to continue meeting the need in the community on a larger scale. Visit byfaithfarm.com to get involved. That's byfaithfarm.com. And now, Thompson Handyman is reminding motorists to slow down on our roadways, keep an eye out for kids at play, and never text and drive. This message is brought to you by Thompson Handyman, serving Middle Tennessee since 1997. For all your home remodeling and handyman needs, give the pros a call today at 629-248-0022. 629-248-0022. That's Thompson Handyman, going the extra mile for safety. They're professionals who care.
It's a Bill King Show.
We are college football centric. That is the sun that warms our planet that we live on. Our planet actually isn't flat or round. It's an oblong spheroid. And we are here to proselytize about it, edify it every day on this here radio show.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
The McFarland Show, streaming live on the WNSR app and on WNSR.com.
It's true. You can listen anywhere in the world to this show. Anywhere. I'm sure the other McFarland, Justin, has been listening 7 hours ahead. I'm sure.
Where is he?
We have not disclosed.
I may have let it slip the other day on the air.
Really? I did not hear you do that. He.
But I've never been to Hungary either.
He's 7 hours ahead. That's my final answer. That's what I was told was acceptable.
Well, that's a wide swath.
Yeah, that's a what?
A wide swath. The 7 hours from here could be from Finland to the Mediterranean.
That is very true,
Mm-hmm.
and he's in
somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between.
Finland.
Yes, maybe not. I don't think he's with
eating
Becca.
smoked fish.
I don't think
with
he's
Kiko
with
Timonen.
Mike in Las Casas on our text line said, about 8 years ago, 2 of our dogs tore their ACLs. They both had tightrope surgery. He said, technically, it's a CCL in a dog. I did not know that. I've never heard of dogs.
I don't know why you would.
Right. I've never heard.
Yeah.
How did they do that? Was that in a competition? How did they tear their?
I think they did it on one-on-one drills. He was backpedaling.
It was a walkthrough.
He was backpedaling in press coverage.
I've never heard that, Mike. Thank you for that story. Let's go to the phones. You learn something new every day. Tony, let's start things off with Tony. Tony, what's up?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon, Greg.
Good afternoon, Tony.
Time of the day.
Yeah, it is.
Guys,
yep.
In all seriousness, the first time I heard about this tightrope, and I think we all did, was and that what Tua had in 2019.
Was it?
Alabama? I thought it was.
I don't remember. I didn't. For some reason, I don't remember everybody calling it a tightrope surgery, but maybe it's been around for a while.
So, guys, I'm going to pull Tula Eric here. I'm going to talk 3 or 4 things. I'm going to bounce around here on college football, and then 1 or 2 things I want y'all to touch on. Number 1, shout out to Virginia and Utah and the wins that they had this weekend.
I think I saw if you had a $100 ticket for them to win, you cashed out at $1,600 on a money line. If you picked Virginia just to beat North Carolina, I think $100 netted you $1,600.
Well, what was the bet line on classless Williams, Caleb Williams, not coming off the bench and going and shaking the team that just beat his butt, Utah, and not shaking their hand? Because there was a lot of talk about that too, because he showed a lot of character in himself by not going and shaking the other quarterback, what was his name, Bryson Barnes, and not getting up. He wanted everybody to come pat him on the shoulder on the woe me. That was I wonder what the bet was on that, because it was pretty bad, and I've read several things about that, how he stayed over there.
I tweeted out that Kyle Whittingham has to be the most underrated college coach in America. Like, really, when you think about it, if you were to say, give me your top 5 coaches in the country, no one says Kyle Whittingham. Give
Darren,
me
we
your
talked
top
about him
10
last year.
coaches. If you said, give me your top 10 coaches in America, I'm not sure anyone puts Kyle Whittingham, and he should be. What he's done at Utah in almost, how long has he been there? Almost 20 years?
18.
Is amazing. Amazing.
Well,
And by the way,
think of all the different places Urban Meyer has been, right?
Yep.
He followed Urban Meyer there.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, right. He replaced Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
Guys, I talked to my brother this weekend. Well, actually Saturday evening. Huge UT fan, been a season ticket holder for about 30-something years and so on and so forth. And we got tickled a little bit. He said, one thing's for sure. He said, no UT fan is going to get cancer from smoking cigars after an Alabama game.
Wow.
And then he told me
Too
he said he
soon.
felt like, he said that
it's
Crimson
exactly,
Tide.
yeah. It's not too soon. Yeah, I mean, that's 48 hours ago. Yeah.
What? Not too soon?
No.
He said Crimson Tide. He said that turned into a tsunami.
There's
Second half.
babies being born this year that'll be smoking a cigar and
Oh, you're right about that.
for
Greg.
Alabama 18 years from now.
I did see a picture. What is it? I guess it was I don't know if it wasn't a GIF. It was is it an emoji? I don't know what it was. Whatever. It's like Bryant Denny Stadium and had a picture of it, and it just said smoke coming out of it.
Looked like a Cheech and Chong movie.
Right.
Hey, guys, I want y'all to talk about this. I get off here. And one more thing. Baseball-wise, I hope the World Series is as good as these 2 championship series. I'll throw that out there. But yesterday, Gentry Estes had an article in the paper. I don't know if y'all saw it, about with an extensive interview with Clark Lee. And Clark Lee's frustrations and upset with where Vanderbilt is where they're at right now. And he talked about he sensed and felt the fans' frustrations and everything surrounding that. And it was a good, lengty interview. And I didn't know if y'all saw that. And if you did, I'd like for y'all to comment on it. So,
Okay,
but
thank you,
other
Tony.
than that, though, yes, sir, Greg,
Yes, sir.
I know you love your morning hour. You know I've been calling, but you really do sound good today. I hope you enjoy your show today.
Yeah, I had thank you, Tony. Yeah, I just took like a day and a half off. I mean,
Thank you,
it was
Tony.
so beautiful yesterday, and Clay and I went to some things. I did the blah, 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 and went home, and then we did this, and I said, hey, guys, you mind if I take
Tony,
take one off?
I don't know if I can handle
is
that.
it me or you think it's just
Well, I did-
afternoons?
Well,
what do you mean you sound better?
Well, I think it's probably because I didn't have to drive. It took me 25 minutes to get
Well, it's
here,
just
which
flipped.
usually
It's flipped,
takes
Greg.
me an hour.
I know, but
I
it's
know.
flipped.
I've already told my family I'll be
right.
I'll
See
be
you at
that.
dinner.
Yeah, no. I'll go ahead. I'll get something on the way home and eat it while I'm sitting right there at the crossings.
Yeah, it's just in reverse. That's all.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I actually, it is worse because you know where I live. People know where I'm
Yeah.
on the other side. I call it the safe side of the lake, and the best side of it. And so I'm I've got a Mount Juliet address, but I live in Rutherford County, just out from Smyrna, Weekly Lane, Faith Sanders Marina, that whole area, just a beautiful area, and on a peninsula out in that's in the lake, and so I-24 in the morning. Sometimes, and I hear Justin because I watch Justin because I try to leave at 7:45. It takes me 25 to 30 minutes today to get here. It'll take me, if I'm here in an hour, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. So anyway, I'm just gonna wait and just go get me a couple margaritas and let the traffic finish.
Oh, well, where are you going? Let me know. Text me. Anyway, it's
right at our exit. 60,
oh, okay.
You're 66A. I'm 66B.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Right. You're doing the loop around, going the other way.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the way I'll come in today. But on the mornings when I come here, I go to Mount Juliet and come in I-40.
Yeah.
Let's
go back to the phone.
Yeah, I'm glad everybody got to hear that.
That was awesome.
That's like Justin and Damon the other day. You can't get your life back after that.
Radio gold right there.
Oh, my God.
Bob, what's up?
It's great to have Greg on. I'm a longtime fan of Greg and yours, Darren. This is about the Predators. Their record is 3-3, and I want to get y'all's comment on this. So far they played San Jose, which San Jose is a bottom feeder, and then they beat Seattle. Seattle's a team that is supposed to be a little bit better than the Predators, but a team that the Predators should have a fighting chance against to score, at least a point. And then they beat them, and then they played 4 elite teams, and they're 1-3 against the elite. So my question to you is this: do you think it's reasonable this year to expect them to maybe win 70% of their games against the bottom feeders? You can't beat them all the time. So 70% against the bottom feeders, and maybe 1/4 to 1/3 of their games against the elite teams, and then 45 to 55% of their games against teams that they're relatively even with. Right? Do you think that that's reasonable? And do you think if they do that, that would put them on the cusp of the playoffs?
Well, they said there would be no math on this, so I need a pie chart.
I know it's your Kentucky math.
Yeah, public education in Kentucky, rocking and rolling right now. I think they're going to be, and Darren, you filled in for JB last Monday, right? John was out of town, and I think this is going to be a fun team to watch. I think there are some expectations. I think they're going to have stretches where they have a lot of fun. I mean, you've got, Tommy Novak, Kiefer Sherwood. I mean, Fagemo now, you finally saw what he could maybe bring. You've got a core of veterans. You've got a top 5 goaltender. You got a top 5 defenseman. You've got a top 10 potentially scorer goal in Forsberg, maybe. And then you got so many young players that look like they are the part. Now, experience. They're going to win some. They're going to lose some. And I think they're going to run out and win some games, and come back, and they'll go through some stretches where they don't look so good because they're so young. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What expectations? You said they have expectations. What expectations?
I would say to challenge for the playoffs.
Really? You think that's a real expectation?
I think so. Yeah.
But what's challenging for the playoffs?
Okay. Would you concede that this is a rebuild? You got a new head coach. You got a new general manager. You jettison some veterans. You bring in some other veterans.
It's a weird thing because typically a rebuild, and Bob, tell me if you agree with this, is kind of like what. Like Chicago,
you blow it completely up.
Dynamited it. Said we're going for Bedard.
But it's or whatever reset, whatever you want to call it. But there's an offensive philosophy change. How long is it going to take to get that in on a consistent basis? Because if you're gonna be that aggressive in up front, you're gonna give up some goals on the back.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Bob,
I think this team's going to be fun to watch. The expectations, if they don't make the playoffs, but they don't stink it up, I think it's quite okay. Quite frankly.
Do you have expectations, Bob, for this team?
Well, how many? Yes, I do. How many points did they finish out of the playoffs last year? Was it 5 or 6?
Yeah, it was late. I remember they were still in it.
Yeah.
Late.
But without what? Who they didn't have Forsberg.
Well, Forsberg had been out for a while.
And Saros.
Yeah, you had Parsonen was out. Yeah, I mean, you had key guys.
They were limping.
They limped. They limped out.
My expectation is that they'll be in the hunt with a decent chance to get in going into the last month, and then I'll take my. So I think that they'll be either inside the bubble or just outside the bubble, headed down the stretch. That's my expectation, and I would be delighted with that.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree. That's about where I am. Yeah.
The reason I asked
let me ask you. What are your? I've heard you've quizzed me. What are your expectations?
Well, I don't think they have expectations, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you kind of already hit on it, and I've talked about this as well. Once you change a front office, once you change a coach, once you change out familiar faces, Duchesne, Johansson have been here years, right? You switch out some pieces that have been here. And quite honestly, I use those two as examples, and I get why, because of their contracts. It's not their fault. We all would have signed them, but they didn't live up to their contracts. And so they tend to be the whipping boys when it came to frustrations, right? A lot of it was geared toward Johansson over the years and Duchesne. Fair?
Yeah, probably to an excess, but I think there was some validity to it.
Yeah. And so I think when you have those elements out of the way, and then you come in with some new pieces, and then you get some young pieces that bring all that breeds just excitement. It doesn't really breed expectations. And this is the reason I bring this up, Greg, because I kind of feel like, and Bob, I didn't know Bob was still there.
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
The reason I bring this up is because I think that's fine, but I think the Predators and really any organization really wants expectations, because expectations means people are expecting you to be good.
All right. Okay. Darren McFarland, what are your expectations?
I think you guys have already said it. I don't feel any differently. I think it's kind of, this is what they are. I think there's going to be highs and lows.
Aren't you curious? I mean, to see what these young ones can do.
Could they get into the playoffs? They could. Sure.
Yeah, there's talent. The thing is, they've been percolating in Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
They've been percolating. And the one thing with David Poile, there is a base there. You've got essentially your goaltender of the future, right? And Askarov down there. And you've got, now look at these. I mean, I just look at the lines they trotted out there. O'Reilly, Parsonen, Fagemo, Young, Novak, Evangelista. I mean, Trennan. I mean, I like the balance 1 through 4, and you're young and experienced on the back. I like the fact they're also putting Fabro with Yossi on that back end. I like them two together because I think Fabro can learn from Yossi a lot.
Well, Luke Shin's going to be out for a while, so they're. I want to see. You know what I've been saying. And by the way, it's been a good little stretch here the last 2 games. They've been scoring.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see if they can start going in the direction of the league. You've heard me say this, right? Because the direction of the league is no different than the NFL and all the other sports.
You got it 4 goals a game, right?
It's about scoring. It used to be 3 goals.
Yeah.
Now it's 4.
Yeah.
4, like you need to get to 4. Like that's the magic number. It used to be 3. You get to 3, especially with Pekka, like you can guarantee a win, but it's not 3 anymore. The league is skewed higher. And so I want to know, with a new system and a new coach, can they start going? I'm not asking them to be Edmonton. I'm not asking them to be Vegas or Florida. I'm asking them to go to be better than what they've been the last couple of years.
And get to the point where you go out and beat people instead of trying to hold on defensively.
Correct. Yes, and just try to be physical
and stay in the game,
work hard, blue collar, which is fine.
Yeah, which was Barry Trott's persona, right, forever. But now he's come in and said, "No, hey, we gotta."
That's smart.
We got it. It's like Nick Saban going from the run game to the passing game, right?
Evolve or what, Greg? Die.
It's not good.
Yeah, evolve or die. You have to evolve.
Well, I mean, or at least, I don't know, death seems a little severe.
I'm just saying, as a profession.
Well, I know. Yeah, I haven't evolved.
There's coaches that don't evolve. No, that's not true. You have evolved. That's not true. maybe the razor. You could work. You haven't evolved on.
No, I got this.
This is
new.
Well, yeah.
What do you think I do? I got to go get. I got my hair.
I thought it was last year's playoff beard. No.
No. You know, wherever we were in a different lifetime, remember they made us grow the playoff beards.
Oh yeah.
See,
I remember
that there's a personnel file that's totally illegal.
I think Greg has had that beard ever since I've known him.
HR.
You can't make me grow this. I just do it to hide my double chin.
It's a good look on you.
Yeah.
I can't grow one. I got patches.
It used to be spotty.
I get patches. Yeah. It looks weird. Eric, we'll get to you on the other side. 615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line. More of the McFarland Show on this Monday next.
Quick, convenient, efficient. 3 words that we all hope to experience when we do business.
I can't tell.
Our goal at JHA Company is to bring just that to an industry that's traditionally dictated to the customer when it's time to do business. Whether you're purchasing class pictures in a yearbook, class jewelry, a letter jacket, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience quick, convenient, and efficient. Find out more at jhacompany.com. JHA, your one source for an unparalleled scholastic experience.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
When you want down-home cooking, just head downtown. Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel serves traditional Southern cooking, sourced fresh and local, just like Grandma used to make. Start your day with a Southern smoked breakfast bowl or a Music City omelet. If you're looking for variety, hit the biggest breakfast buffet in Music City, or get your fill at the world-famous Biscuit Bar. Kitchen Notes dishes up lunch with traditional Southern tomato pie, country ham, and classic picnic ambrosia. Serving breakfast Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 10:30, and lunch is served 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Kitchen Notes doesn't forget the brunch crowd. Brunch at Kitchen Notes is every Friday through Sunday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., featuring cast iron pancakes, made-to-order waffles and eggs, and ice-cold carafes of mimosas. Enjoy farm-to-table Southern dishes made from treasured family recipes. Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Let's go back to the phone. Stan has been waiting patiently. Stan, what's up?
I'm sorry. I'm officially turning in my Vanderbilt fan wardrobe. It's just never going to happen, guys. You go and lose to UNLV, and the week before, mistake-ridden loss to Wake Forest.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
Five-state forecast. Your exclusive National Sports Radio WNSR Skyscan forecast. Today's going to be mostly sunny with a high of 78. It'll be partly cloudy tonight, low 56. Tuesday, a mostly sunny day, high 78. Sunny skies Wednesday, high 80. Utilizing the resources of the Weatherbug Network on National Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist Jim Rinaldi.
Sports Radio WNSR.
You're listening to The McFarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
We'll cheer Damon Keene up at 3 o'clock. We'll talk balls with Vince Ferrara. Sports Animal 99.1 there in Knoxville. Skip Vinny's thoughts. on all that. 615-844-5600. You're listening to The McFarland Show. I'm Darren McFarland, half of The McFarland Show. Justin, still out of the country. Greg Polk sitting in his chair today. Great job by him. Appreciate him coming in.
Wow, thank you.
You'll be back with John Burton tomorrow morning?
He's never said anything I do is great.
No.
No, that's fine.
Do you guys get along?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're fine.
You do some nice radio fights sometimes. It's fun.
Yeah, he's big, really a little overly sensitive at times.
Yeah.
But
does it bother you when he does
No, I'm kidding.
About you? Does that bother you when he does
Nothing
that?
bothers me anymore. Okay,
No, you're right.
That won't make the top 1,400 things that bother me.
And he speaks the truth. That is the truth. I knew that answer before it got out of my mouth. Let's go to Eric. Eric, what's up?
Hey, I know one thing that bothers Greg when I call in with him and John and talk about wrestling.
That does not bother me. I don't.
No,
I just back out and let them talk. I mean,
yeah, I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. You know that. I love you, buddy.
Thank you. That makes it all okay.
Okay. Listen, there are three NFL things I want to talk about, guys. First of all, guys, it's like, it is just ridiculous how bad the officiating got. Guys, I'm sorry. I have no loss for the Colts, but they got screwed yesterday. First with that fumble recovery they should have had, then they called, I guess, incidental contact. But then that whole thing with that was not a catchable ball. I mean, to me, the refs, I don't know what you do. I know they said they downgraded, but I'm not going to say they should be fired, but they definitely should be fined or suspended or something. Those two back-to-back players were just horrible.
They're brutal. It's honestly, look, let's just stop for just a second. People lose games, lose jobs in the NFL.
You're right.
And it's honestly, it's embarrassing. A ball cannot land 10 yards out of the end zone and you call pass interference. That's ridiculous.
But they've gotten away from the uncatchable thing. And it's not okay, here's the deal. It's not pass interference because the player was not making a play on the ball. It's actually defensive holding. If you're going to call anything. Well, no, but the difference is a spot foul and a 5-yard foul.
Okay. But I'm saying, look, however you want to phrase it, holding or pass interference.
You just don't. You put that in your pocket. You keep that.
Did he do that? Yes, but the ball went 10 yards out of bounds.
So it's not pass interference.
It didn't matter.
It's holding if you want to call something. But yeah, you're right.
But should you call it though?
No,
on a play like
it's
that?
awful call.
Yeah,
I'm just getting on to the point of I see a lot of pass interference calls when it's actually defensive holding because there's not being a play on the ball.
Do you see that a lot on TSU games?
I see a little bit.
Do they call that?
They mostly usually just call pass interference. But the thing is that it's only a 15-yard penalty and not a spot foul.
Okay.
I don't like the pass interference that you can just on a jump ball or whatever. It's a 50-yard penalty. I think a 50-yard penalty on one play is too punitive. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, Coach, you can't, of course, say anything. I felt bad for the Colts coach. And also, I love Mike Tomlin, but he got a huge break. That was not a first down. And Sean McVay couldn't, of course, challenge because he had no timeouts. They clearly showed the guy was short. But anyway.
Well, the Titans fan had to like that outcome, right?
Well, I guess.
Well, you get. What do you mean you get?
Why would they like the no, he's talking about
I thought you were talking about the Colts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We'd move on.
No,
I can't keep up.
Quickly
Sorry.
in that game. Yeah. Guys, the second thing I want to talk about, guys, is we can argue, I guess. To me, I think they're really on the three teams I felt like you can count on: San Francisco, Philadelphia, Kansas City. The rest, it just you got to be consistent, guys. And maybe Baltimore after yesterday, I don't know. But in the NFC, it's basically whoever's third best is Detroit, Dallas, Seattle. You can throw them in the bowl. In the AFC, maybe Baltimore's the second best, but Miami proved last night. They're a good football team, but they're not an elite team because they still have trouble scoring.
Hold on. I'm gonna defend the fish, okay? Because I had the fish number 1 in my top 10.
Yeah,
Eric, their two losses are at Buffalo and at Philadelphia. How many teams in the league are winning those games?
Not many, but I will say
it's not like
this,
they're dropping a home game to Tampa.
I will say this: flip the names, if it was the Dallas Cowboys, Justin would be going on saying, "Well, see, they're frauds." That's what he'd be saying.
Well, I don't. Well, then don't bring up the Cowboys then.
No, I agree. No, Justin likes to blame the top 10. He likes to blame the past, and it's not the past for me.
And here's my issue with him. He's looking ahead like the playoffs. I said, I look at regular season, what you do week to week. He's probably right. They probably won't do it in the playoffs. I base my things on what you do week to week in the regular season, not what you do in the playoffs. You know, Miami, I do believe they are a good football team, but I will say this, guys, against teams with better defenses, is they've had their issues. Maybe they can get it together. I'm not going to totally give up on them. But I'll say this, they do have a tough game against the Chiefs in a couple of weeks in Germany, so we'll see about them. And they also still have to play, like, the Jets twice. I know they play Buffalo again. A lot of people say whether or not they'll be able to do it cold weather. But I do have to give Mike McDaniel credit for what they've done. But still, until proven otherwise, Kansas City is still the top of the AFC. And, guys, lastly, and I think this is kind of interesting. One of the things everybody talk about.
Eric,
yeah.
hold on.
Got to run,
bud.
Hold on.
It's
your show.
Hold on. I want him to hear this, too, because he's a huge Titans fan. This just in.
Okay.
Diana, I'm seeing it from Diana Rossini. I don't know.
It's legit. It's all over the place.
It's all over. Well, I'm just saying. I know Diana Rossini's legit. She is saying that the Titans are trading Kevin Byard to the Eagles.
Just now.
Not surprised.
The Eagles are going to send the Titans a 5th and 6th round pick and safety Terrell Edmonds.
Okay. I'm kind of not surprised. You hate to say the Titans are giving up on the season. I don't know if they're not, but that's certainly going to help the Eagles.
Well, they're giving up on that contract, okay?
Yeah, you're right.
He's getting premium money at a non-premium position.
And guys, I'll throw out this. You can talk about it later about the fact that Mike Vrabel was in New England this weekend. Everybody was linking him to being the Patriots next head coach, but of course Belichick's now signed fairly in the offseason to stay there. But everybody was throwing out the fact that he was going to be the next coach of Patriots, and there were also a lot of Titans fans upset about some of the comments he made, which I thought was insane due to the fact that he's back in New England. He's not going to trash the team. So
no, it's
guys,
silly.
Y'all take care.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it. Titans are trading Kevin Byard to the Eagles. We'll discuss that. Doug, we'll also get to you before we get out of here. Hour number 1, a big kaboom here on this Monday on the McFarland Show.
Golfers, swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest new fall arrivals from TaylorMade, Callaway, and Titleist. Come by and test drive the new TaylorMade P790 irons, the new Callaway Apex Pro iron sets, and the new Titleist T-Series irons. While you're there, get a free custom fitting on the new arrivals and more. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is your headquarters for all the latest golf gear from all the top manufacturers. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Shop us in store or online at edwinwattsgolf.com.
Post-COVID travel is on a surge. Many of you are traveling for fun because you've been locked up for 2 years. Listen, whether you're traveling for fun to Italy, Greece, Spain, France, or somewhere else fun in the world, or USA, now is a great time to book before the crowds hit and save. Plus, with a strong U.S. dollar, you'll get more travel bang for your buck. Right now is a smart time to make your reservations and call low-cost airlines. With one phone call, you can let us do all the work for free. We'll shop hundreds of airlines, hotels, resorts, and give you a way to save huge money on your vacation plans. And if you call right now, we'll give you a free hotel room with a qualified travel purchase. So call right now.
800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. That's 800-704-1662.
Dinner with Friends is a fine dining restaurant in Nashville's prestigious West End. It features an elegant presentation and exceptional service. One of the first non-alcoholic restaurants in Nashville. A popular choice among locals and tourists alike. If you're in town for the ball game or you're just visiting with friends, Dinner with Friends is the preferred location for those seeking a rich, modern restaurant with serene atmosphere and top-notch guest experience. 1719 West End Avenue. Dinner with Friends, a proud sponsor of TSU football on WNSR.
I'm on Deadman's Bend at midnight when my gas light pops on. I see a gas station ahead. Just my luck. Or is it? I walk in. The attendant lifts a bony finger towards me and croaks, "You want a Halloween jumbo bucks?" I whisper it terrified, "No." And as I leave, he asks the lady behind me. She says, "Okay." And then she wants $75,000.
Scare up some cash with the Halloween Jumbo Bucks Instant Game, only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing, hair-raising fun. Please play responsibly.
The Jim Rome Show.
I get a lot of vacation. I understand that. However, I don't take a lot of sick days. These things are not one and the same. That was not like I worked 8 straight days or I worked Super Bowl Sunday. I think I'll give myself a day off. I earned it. Hey, and by the way, I could because I have those days. I pride myself in not taking sick days. I hate that. We usually grind through it. But honestly, it was the right thing. In that case, it was the right thing.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays 11 to 2 on Nashville's Sports Radio.
Welcome back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Kevin Byard sent to Philadelphia to join the Eagles, and A.J. Brown, who continues to tear up the league every week. Diana Rossini saying a 5th and 6th round pick. Terrell Edmonds coming back the Titans' way. Pretty interesting stuff. Obviously, we will talk more about this in the second hour at length. We'll talk to Vince Ferrara to begin the second hour, and then we'll continue discussing the big news that just happened. Trading deadline is what, 8 days away, 9 days away, 7? So we're like just over a week away. Let's go to Doug. Doug, what's up? Doug, you there? I guess not.
Hey, guys.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of royalty in the house. I got screened by the king, and there's a Hall of Famer in the house. It's strong vibes all over the place.
Oh, it's amazing, really, isn't it? It's amazing.
It impresses me. My son sent me that information. I sent back, no way. And then I got to thinking, they're trying to renegotiate how much they pay you to go and renegotiate where you work at. So with that happening with Mr. Byard, do you consider it a precursor to what the R word is, rebuild? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting. I think Tannehill, everybody, Henry, I don't know if the rebuild is quite there yet, but this is, I understand that, but this is an unloading of a contract that was not a good one for the team that John Robinson did. Kevin Byard got premium position money for a non-premium position. The contract is going to be, it's not going to be here at the end of, he wasn't coming back. Okay. So why not? This is a business move. It doesn't, I don't know, not necessarily this year, no, but there has been premium performance, but it really doesn't matter. Yeah, he's being paid premium money at a non-premium position. That's a fact. Whether he's the best in the league or not, that's not the point. I just think that, and you know what the really cool thing about this, Darren? He's going to the Eagles. Do you know who their safety's been? Reed Blankenship, who played at MTSU. So you're going to have possibly 2 safeties.
Wow.
For the Eagles from MTSU.
Wow.
Huh? Think of that.
That's pretty cool.
And there's also the fact that Julio Jones has got his 4th jersey in his closet, and he's still hunting a ring, and he may get one.
Well, they're, I mean, that's and what they give up? A 4th, 5th, or I'd say a couple.
And a 6th.
Yeah.
Which the Titans have 6 picks, but what people don't realize, this is for next year's draft. This is before these 2 picks. 3 of those 6 are 7th rounders.
Well, yeah, so they're getting a couple more and a safety. I don't know much about Terrell Edmonds.
Yeah.
But then again, Byard did take a restructure where the base is low, but then everything else kick the can down the road type of thing.
What is the ripple effect of this in that room? Or is there any?
I think it's, I think it can't help to have an effect, right? I mean, Byard is behind Derrick Henry, the face, right? Who else beside Derrick Henry? Maybe Big Jeff and Tannehill, but no, I don't think so. He doesn't embrace that, but Byard is because of proxy, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so, I think it can't help but have ripple effects in there.
Because
are we blowing it up, right?
Well, I mean, that's the question. Is this it, or is there more to come?
Well, you got Tierre Tart, who's apparently he's chirping a lot.
Yeah.
Big Jeff saying what he...
Well, he's not going anywhere, but you may have been talking about Tierre Tart with his comments.
Yeah.
Which may mean And don't forget, Terrell Williams, the coach, had even kind of like,
Well, and you also got to think DeAndre Hopkins right now, that what is his value?
Yep. Yeah. Good points.
But if you're going with Will Levis, you don't trade any offensive components, especially Derrick Henry. You don't send Will Levis out there without Derrick Henry.
I can't imagine. No, I do not believe that at all. All right, that is going to do it for hour number one. We'll come back. We'll head to Knoxville. Vince Ferrara, the sports animal, 99.1. He'll join us to begin the second hour of the McFarland Show. That's next.
560 AM, 95.9 FM, Brentwood, Nashville, 107.9 FM, Smyrna, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
ABC News, I'm Marina Roy. The Israeli Hostage Center confirms 2 more hostages have been released by Hamas. They're 2 elderly Israeli women. The White House says it's working for the release of U.S. citizens still held by Hamas.
We still have about 10 unaccounted for Americans, and it's not exactly clear to us where those 10 people are.
National Security Council spokesman John Kirby.
There's just a lot of effort going on, a lot of conversations and discussions with partners in the region, and I think it's just best if we don't detail that.
A mother and daughter from the Chicago area were released last week. ABC's Matt Gutman is in Tel Aviv.
13 members of that single family were either killed or kidnapped, and in so many ways that one family is still being held captive by Hamas, fearful that if they reveal any details about the conditions under which the released family members were held, their captors could take vengeance on the family members still under Hamas's control.
This is ABC News.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
I've got a unique vacation idea for you that's right here in the United States. If you're ready for a vacation that's fun and downright affordable, listen up. It's driving distance for many of you, so no planes, no airline delays, no hassles. It's Branson, Missouri, the entertainment capital of the Midwest. Live music for everyone. Branson has 3 beautiful, enormous lakes, water attractions, live shows, great food, and tons of entertainment. It's a perfect vacation for you and your family, or if you're retired and you want to have a great time. And you can stay in Branson for as low as $99 a night. Please understand, this is not a timeshare offer. It's a real vacation for as little as $99 a night. We've got a free vacation guide we want to send you right now. All you have to do is call for complete details. Get your free Branson, Missouri guide right now by calling this number.
800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. That's 800-413-3953.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Throw me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour of the McFarland Show here on this Monday afternoon. Darren McFarland and Greg Pogue alongside. One more hour to go. Don't forget you can watch this show every day on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. The phone line and the text line, 615-844-5600. We told you last week about the first installment of the Big Blue TSU Tigers radio show that was on last Wednesday night during the 6 o'clock hour. This week, it'll be on tomorrow night during the 6 o'clock hour, one hosted by Greg Pogue, and his very special guest, listen up, will be
former Titans Rams head coach Jeff Fisher, his son Brandon, the defensive coordinator at Tennessee State. We're doing it at obviously the legendary Princess Hot Chicken there, 5814 Nolensville Pike. People can come by and just say hi, and we're going to be giving away tickets for the game Saturday at Nissan Stadium. And this is the first time, and I've known Jeff for obviously since 1996, right? And Brandon, as he's grown up. And Jeff told me last night this is the first time he's ever done a radio show with Brandon.
That's unbelievable.
And I go, really? Because Brandon's been to college, working his way up and played at Montana, and of course Jeff, but they've never done one together. So come out and have some of the legendary Princess Hot Chicken and hang with us.
That sounds really cool. I would have never thought that.
Me either.
Wow.
And yeah.
All right, let's go to Knoxville, where they're an hour ahead of us. 99.1 The Sports Animal. Vince Ferrara hosts their morning show with John Wilkerson. Vinny, how we doing?
Darren, Greg, good. Hope you guys are doing well.
Vinny, how you doing, man? It's good talking to you, buddy.
Good talking to you, Greg. Been a while.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Darren, make sure you still have a place in our hearts in the marketplace here. So I enjoy that you just follow Darren wherever he goes. So that's good.
Yep. Yeah, loyalty, man, loyalty.
You should appreciate that, Greg.
Oh, I do.
I know you do. I know you do. Vinny, loyalty. Are the fans still loyal after Saturday's game?
There you go.
And
There
half?
it was. There it was, Vinny. Big time radio right there.
Loyalty and professionalism showed with pro segue there from Darren. Yeah, loyalty from fans that have the Vol for Life moniker, but then when someone transfers, the for life is gone. Like as long as it's you're part of us, and then it's no longer for life. But no, I there's some that are upset. It's not like everybody's acting like he should be fired. Heupel should be fired. But part of the equation, part of the different reasoning for what went down Saturday was the fourth down decisions going forward in your own end, and that's. Like I said, what some people are upset about in those decisions. So, Josh Heupel was asked about it in the postgame, and his answer was, especially for the second one, which is the one I scratched my head about the most, and I had the biggest problem with.
And I agree, Vinny. Yeah.
Yeah, you're at your own 47-yard line. Alabama already has had a great start to the second half, run off 10 points, got to within 3. You're in your own 47. It's not like it's inches. It's about a yard and a half, maybe just close to that. And you're going to give up a short field. Then Alabama took advantage of it, took the lead, and then it was on. And the crowd is on another level into it, and then you're running uphill. Let your defense and special teams work for you. Punt that ball. Jackson Ross, Tennessee's punter, set a Tennessee all-time single-game punt average record in the game with 52.3 yards per punt, including a 71-yarder. Since the game in Nashville that you guys saw, where he had a couple of shanks, he's been a weapon for them, and he keeps getting better. Punt the ball, pin them back, try to let your defense, maybe they're backed up, try to let your defense get the momentum back, maybe get the ball back, and then maybe they're forced to punt back from their end, and you get the ball back in midfield and you restart it. That's how they won the Texas A&M game, was with defense and special teams. So I didn't agree with that one. His answer was, well, we had a play call we think was going to work, so we called it. Well, sure. Every one of your plays you think is going to work, right? But it's about risk and reward under the circumstances. And he's typically very aggressive, and he was in the first half. But man, I just think with this year's team, I think the better play would have been to punt the ball there, even if you thought you had the perfect play call. And that was another thing you could talk about was, did they have the right personnel in there? Dylan Sampson, who's your outside perimeter guy, running the ball up the middle, And then to me, the biggest thing, in addition to that, is you typically have two advantages: tempo and spacing. So what do they do on short yardage and red zone? They slow down and then they bunch your formation up. They don't have the road graders on the offensive line to just bully a defensive line, especially good ones like Alabama. Like, do your normal offense if you're going to do that, and then maybe have Jalen Wright, your most physical back, in the game if you are going to go for it. So it's just a number of things you can point to that fans have been talking about. Back to the loyalty segue you had there, Dan.
Yeah, and I think it's rightfully so. All that, and you hit it. The risk compared to the reward. The reward is you have a first down at the 49, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and you sustain the drive, but the risk is the short field where, man, you've got to play the percentages there and make them drive the length of the field. All right, where are we with Milton? And you're always going to have these calls this year if these things happen. How safe is Milton? I wouldn't put Nico in on the road at Kentucky for sure. So I don't know, but you hear those howls.
Yeah, and I think that's from the fans. And honestly, because we get so many questions about Nico and why is he playing and where's he at? Is he still hurt and all that kind of stuff. I that's not everybody. We get some of that and people wondering, why they haven't played him more. But I don't think it's time to change quarterbacks. I mean, you're sending a signal that it's all about the future. And then what do? Do you lose Milton? Do you lose a bunch of your veterans? Is Nico ready? And that's why I asked Heupel about Nico today, just to see where he's at in his development. And Heupel didn't give a ton of details. I mean, not that he often does. He's not a spoil the beans in a press conference type of coach right now. But he, I just think that he's still learning and progressing, and he's also got to put on weight, guys. I mean, to take SEC physicality at that quarterback position, and if you're going to maybe involve him in the run game too, and he escapes the pocket and you get out of the pocket, and you gotta put some muscle on. And I'm sure he is working on that, but it's gonna take more time. So I unfortunately for Tennessee, they missed out on opportunities to put lesser teams away and get him snaps earlier in the year where you get him a little bit of experience. But I don't put that Alabama game on Joe Milton. There are plenty.
No,
of
I don't either. Yeah. Vinny, just the field, though, now you're basically out of the hunt for the SEC of the last one, right? The SEC East. And so is there a line? I mean, get to 9 wins, and that's going to take a road win at Kentucky and a road win in Missouri. And we thought Kentucky would be tough. Now Missouri's looking awful, tough as well. Where is the line of satisfaction? Is it between 8 and 9, really? Because you got to figure Georgia's a loss. I mean,
right? Yeah, Greg, it's approaching. Let's say that. Like, you're driving up on that intersection, basically, to where of satisfaction, as you termed it. I don't think anything sub 9 is going to sit well. Now, again, that doesn't mean fire Heupel or anything like that, but I think that's short of expectations. And yes, some fans have really they've calmed and backed off of their expectations because there's a segment of the fan base that doesn't believe in Joe Milton. But this team, because they've regressed offensively, it's more than just with Joe Milton. It's the receivers. The offensive line doesn't have a top 10 pick at right tackle or some other really good offensive linemen. They're just not. It's not the same personnel in addition to just the quarterback. So for some, they're not expecting a ton. I think maybe 9-3, 8-4 is realistic. But guys, just like with Alabama, they got to show they can win on the road. Like, I don't know if you can start thinking, how many wins you're going to get at the end of the year until they show that, hey, only the biggest of road venues have been difficult for them. It's now 4 straight true road hostile environments that they have lost in now, with Alabama, Florida this year, South Carolina, Georgia last year. And you have to go back to, earlier, LSU last year, and that was a morning kickoff, which is a huge benefit for them versus when everybody's, drinking up and getting full throat for night games in Baton Rouge. So they caught a break there. They got to show that they can handle the road environment. Yeah, it won't be like Tuscaloosa, but they'll be ready and they'll be loud. And you got to make sure that they don't have the avalanche that they seem to have when things go bad. It just goes horribly bad, like the second half at Alabama and the second quarter at Florida. So yeah, to me, they got 9 wins, and people will say, all right, we got Nico next year. And they do have Nico next year, but man, we're going to take some tough calls if it's anything south of that at the end.
So that's what it is. That was literally where I was going next, because I talked about it earlier in the show. So that is the plan. They're going to stick with Joe Milton through thick and thin. He's going to play this year, obviously if he's healthy, right? I'm stating the obvious there, but there's no chance of trotting Nico out there.
No, I'm not going to go with no chance or an absolute, because if Joe Milton continues to turn the ball over or does it at an even higher clip, then they may be forced to make a move. So I'm not saying that, but I think the season would have, like, if they were to lose at Kentucky, then I think that is a conversation after that. You have UConn, and that'll be a noon Eastern kickoff. So I don't think they're ready. Their fans are ready for that. Not all of them, but some. But I think there'd have to be a horrible loss, and then just terrible meltdown at that position. And we haven't seen that. He's been inconsistent. Guys, do you know that people act like he's never improved, which is just inaccurate. He has improved in his time. He's just been inconsistent, and he didn't have the build off of the improvement last year. But do you know that his numbers in deep throws are as good, if not better, than Hendon Hooker's last year? Now, I know he played in mop-up duty, and then after the season was over, I get it, against lesser competition, all that kind of stuff. But you know what? Some of his numbers that aren't very good in those deep ball throws this year are against lesser competition and defenses that aren't great. And so it's the inconsistency of it. And he had some really good throws against Alabama, but he's got to protect the football. And honestly, I think he doesn't make some throws because he is trying to protect the football. And it's so hard for them on offense. It's like, we've talked about the Tennessee basketball team, right? Where like certain possessions are going to the end of the shot clock. It just seems like such a grind. They don't get easy baskets. Like last year, they were getting a ton of easy scores, wide open receivers, and it was just a breeze for them at times and routing people, everything. Even when they get in the end zone and get points, it's a struggle and a grind for them. And so there's a lot involved besides of the quarterback.
Well, you mentioned basketball. And I asked Darren if I could ask a basketball question. He approved. So Sunday, 2:30 at Michigan State on the Big Ten Network. Yeah. And 2 weeks from tonight, the season opener against Tennessee Tech. Pick number 1 at SEC Basketball Media Day last Tuesday. I don't think really a big surprise, but, you know, I think there's a ton load of expectations, especially when you got that backcourt of Vescovy and Ziegler.
Yeah, for sure, right? And they have new pieces from the transfer portal, and they have a number of returning guys back also. I think because of what's happened in the postseason, I think fans maybe taper their preseason excitement because they've kind of been there with preseason top 10s before. They want to see it, and for some they're going to fully buy in once they see it in the postseason. So there's some of that, and there's also offensive players that have been added. I saw them practice right at the beginning when they were practicing earlier in the summer and had a little window to practice. And I'm going to get to see them Wednesday again when they have an open practice. but they've got offensive players that could really help them in the areas that they didn't last year, like being able to create your own shot and drive to the basket with length and ability to finish. They've added that kind of perimeter shooting. They've added some of the things that they need, but is that going to fit in the defense first philosophy that they typically have? If you can't defend, doesn't matter what your offensive skills are. In the past, you don't see enough minutes on the floor. So is there an adjustment there? Or are those guys going to be good enough defensively to be able to show and bring their offensive skills to the table to make this a better offensive team? So even though the names and the productivity look really good and really deep, I think for some there's still plenty of to be determined. But look, it's a young sport. Everybody's got a bunch of turnover and a bunch of young players. So it's a crapshoot in college basketball for most of the country.
Well, I don't think anybody – I wasn't sure what the discussion would be today. I think at halftime, I think we all thought, man, this was going to be – we would just be having a completely different discussion today. And then the second half came, and then it shifted the whole narrative. So interesting. I just don't think anybody saw that second half, going back to the football side of things. Anybody saw that second half coming where Tennessee could – get worked and outscored 27-0 in a half, even on the road.
I tell you what, though, there were signs. There's a couple of things. One, when they settled for 2 field goals in the first half, and they ended up 1 of 4 in the red zone and touchdowns, when they were already 12th in the SEC in red zone touchdowns going into that game, you wondered how costly that was going to be. And you know what it was? It was just like Texas A&M in Alabama. Texas A&M had 5 first-half sacks, tackles for loss, dominated Alabama. You know what? They couldn't separate from them in the first half on the scoreboard. And then what happened? Alabama adjusted, and then Alabama won that game. In this game, Alabama adjusted. They did so much more with the run game and motions. They adjusted on defense, and Nick Saban said after in the postgame that they went from an odd front to try to stop the run to an even front to be more balanced like they and play like they normally do. Tennessee just didn't have answers to those adjustments, and then it was costly. And then look, Tennessee fans have been talking about the penalties too. Alabama had 1 penalty for 5 yards. They're not as heavily penalized as Tennessee, but they're heavily penalized typically. It's hard to play a football game. And when there's holding on every down, there's pass interference on virtually every down, and get called for 1 penalty for 5 yards. There was 8 called on Tennessee for 55. And there's been times where it's been the other way around. But Josh Heupel noted that he was asked about if he thought that the officiating was a bit one-sided against Tennessee. He had 15 seconds of silence in the press conference before he said, "Next question, is that a long enough silence for you?" So that was a wordy 15 seconds of silence. Like Jimbo Fisher didn't get in more words in 15 seconds than Heupel did by not saying anything at all. That's how loud that was.
Wow.
And you're not going to get fined because you didn't say anything, right?
Exactly.
Well done. That is interesting. Vinny, appreciate it as always. You have a great week, and we'll talk next week.
Good talking to you, Vinny, bud.
All right, good talking to you, Greg. Darren, appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Vince Ferrara, 99.1 The Sports Animal.
You guys have been friends a long time, haven't you? Because you introduced us, right?
It all started at SEC Media Days in Hoover. His table was right next to mine, and we just started talking. That was
hit the strip clubs later and just got out and partying all night, right?
Well, I don't. That's a long time.
It happened in Birmingham. Whatever happens in Birmingham.
Yeah. Right. I'm pretty sure we just went and played Monopoly or something and got to know each other.
Probably 8.
Yeah.
Just right there at Hoover, those little restaurants, just walk over to one of the restaurants. Yeah.
Shoeless.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. That was like 18 years ago. Yeah. That was 17 years ago. So, yeah, he's a good guy. Really good dude. Does a great job there in Knoxville. Tennessee at Kentucky in Lexington this week.
Have you seen the spread?
I have not. You want to do the spread when we come back?
I got them all, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll ask you.
I have not looked at anything.
Okay, and I'll ask you, and you guess.
Okay, I haven't looked at anything.
They're right here.
Okay. Kevin Byard. Greg's got him in his hand. Kevin Byard has been shipped to the Eagles. We'll also discuss that. We're wide open the rest of the hour. 615-844-5600 is the phone line and the text line. More of the McFarland Show next.
And now, Nashville Steam Clean is reminding Americans to show support to the brave men and women who serve our U.S. military. Please visit DAV.org and consider donating to the disabled U.S. veterans who need our help. This message is brought to you by Nashville Steam Clean. For all your residential or commercial professional carpet and upholstery cleaning needs, give the pros a call today at 615-769-6159. 615-769-6159. That's Nashville Steam Clean. They're professionals who care.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
Located at 5410 Murfreesboro Road in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers is one-stop shopping for all your liquor, beer, and wine needs, and has been a multiple winner annually in the Best of Rutherford County voting for Best Liquor Store and Top Wine Shop. Featuring the lowest prices, the best customer service with unsurpassed knowledge, City Slickers offers the largest craft beer selection in Rutherford and southeastern Davidson counties and has beer on tap at its Growler filling station. City Slickers also sells mixers, sodas, snacks, tobacco products, and the Tennessee Lottery, and can place special orders and assist with all your events and even wedding planning. Make sure you follow City Slickers on all their social media or just give them a call at 615-280-7469. That's 615-280-7469. Located in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers.
You know that feeling you get when your team goes big? You can get that same feeling on Zen Sports, where you score with cash rewards every bet you make. Earn cash rewards on your betting volume each month, and even more cash during your 15-day welcome bonus period. So say goodbye to deposit bonuses that turn into deposit nightmares, and say hello to a better sportsbook experience and real cashback rewards. Zen Sports. Betting just got better. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and up and in Tennessee to bet.
This is the Greg Vogue and John Burton Show.
Hang on a second. You and I both know that I've been in this town longer than all you guys put together.
And on more radio stations.
And on every radio station in town. Braves, they're off to a great start down in Atlanta. I was talking to Jeff Rancour. Old Frenchie and I go way back.
Greg Vogue and Houston Hive's John Burton. WNSR. Nashville Sports Radio.
You're listening live from the Strike and Spare Studios, downtown Music City. It's the McFarland Show.
Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch is how you can watch the show every day. Even Greg Pogue is on video today. You can see him today. He's waving. He's doing his... What is that? The...
parade.
Yeah, right.
Parade, yeah.
You know, like a Grand Marshal or even a Miss America wave.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. 615-844-5600. Awkward. Diana Rossini is reporting. Anytime you want Titans news, Diana's usually pretty good about that. She's got an inside source for
you
sure.
think?
Yeah. Titans are trading Kevin Byard to the Eagles. The Eagles are sending the Titans a 2024 fifth and sixth round pick and safety Terrell Edmonds, per multiple league sources.
Not a surprise.
Really?
Yeah, no. I'm because it's been hanging. The Henry, Tannehill, Byard has been hanging out there, all through the offseason, right? And there was obviously the little, I think, a mishandling of the situation by the rookie GM Rand Carthon, but then they finally came in and Byard took a cut, and with obviously the incentives and also the guarantee money on the back end, however that works and what transfers from one to the other. But no, I think they're unloading contracts. Yeah. And Henry, though, no. If you're going to go with Levis, you cannot trade Henry. But would it have surprised you if they would have traded Derrick Henry in the offseason? Certainly was a lot of conversation about it, a lot of conversation about Tannehill, a lot of conversation about Byard. No, I'm not surprised.
It would have surprised me. Because you're trading away the face of the franchise. The most popular
like Steve
player.
McNair or Eddie George or Derek Mason or none of them finished their career.
Well, let's
here.
go there. Let's go there because we both covered them.
Yeah.
Okay. Who was more popular, Steve McNair or Derrick Henry?
I would say it's a wash, but right now at the time, because he had to split it with Eddie.
I think it's
and Steve really was not. He didn't care if anybody, I'm gonna go play football and go home and go fishing.
Yeah. Eddie was the most popular.
Yeah, right.
By far.
But I mean, understand that. But at some point, the popularity in a business world does not play. You've got to make a strong business decision. And yeah, I mean,
but Greg,
teams trade their favorite players all the time.
You would have to admit, Eddie was never the same after the turf toe.
No,
never.
No.
Derrick Henry has shown no drop off at all.
Well, I would not go.
He's not going 2,000 yards.
I'd say there is a drop off in
drop off in them giving him carries.
Well, and also a drop off on his top end speed.
Okay, he's not getting a big breakaways.
He doesn't have that burst that he once had. Okay. But he's still a top 5 running back.
But when you go 12 carries for 97 yards, has he really dropped off? What if he had 24 carries?
But I think the eyeball test, you can see that he's not worried. No one can be there. When he was at his top, man, that was world class. There's only been a few, and so it's hard to maintain that. He's right now still top 5 running back. Is he where he was at his peak? No, but that doesn't mean he's not still a top 5 running back. I don't know. Nothing surprises me anymore in this business. Nothing. Anything. If they traded Jeffrey Simmons, that would shock me. But these guys have been rumored to be traded the entire offseason. Now the trade deadline, I'm not surprised. Nothing surprises me.
What does this signify? What does this move signify?
That they got rid of a premium contract. He was not going to re-sign here. Okay. So you got something for Kevin Byard while he was still an asset that you owned, right?
He wasn't becoming a free agent next year or this offseason.
But that doesn't mean he was coming back either.
Well, okay.
Okay. Yeah. So if you cut him at the end of the I don't think he was coming back one way or the other. If you cut him at the end of the year, you don't get anything for him.
Right, but I'm asking you, they have 11 games to go, Greg. Mm-hmm. It's not like this is in the last month of the season.
All right, but but it's not a premium. But it's not a premium position that if you give up on this safety, it's almost like running backs these days. You can replace them.
But he's the best guy you got in the secondary.
Okay,
right.
But I would say if I would like to see where he's graded out by things like Pro Football, whatever those stats are that measure those. But if you tell me what kind of year he's had to date, I would say a B-. He's not,
I would have said more. Yeah,
a B, B minus, C plus,
C plus,
okay.
B minus.
So, what are you losing?
I said I would have said above
just because
average.
you say he's the best doesn't mean. No, I understand. I get the move. You get 2 draft picks. This isn't trading away A.J. Brown, okay? This is not.
Yeah,
it's a non-premium. A.J. Brown is at a premium position. That's why that position now tops out at $30 million plus a year.
Yeah, I'm just asking you. Does it signify that they are starting to possibly maybe wave the white flag? That's what I was asking. You don't think so?
I don't think Kevin Byard on this team does not move the
Okay.
Would that move the spread half point? No, it's a non-factor. Okay, in a non-premium position.
Okay. 615-844-5600. Let's go.
Let me ask you this: with or without him, you think they'll win any more or any less games? I think it's going to be about the same.
Well, I mean,
they're 2-4 with him.
I know. It's hard to really. Yeah, I understand.
And
but I'm
so
just
you're
saying,
not going to get anything for him. He's not coming back, right?
Well, it's very clear that Rand Carthon has a different vision of Kevin Byard. The minute he came in, like you said, very unpopular move to go to him right away.
And he mishandled that by letting it get out publicly.
He did.
Yep. But that was one of the things he had to do. He had to fix that. What was he get? $18 million a year, Byard? He had to fix that. That was a bad contract. John Robinson, of all the things he did, I think giving Byard that contract, premium money for a non-premium position, was almost as bad as the AJ Brown trade. I don't know. Well, you're now getting rid of that contract.
No, you're just trying to. Yeah, that's making. I don't know about that.
No.
Have you watched AJ Brown this year? By the way?
He's
catching like 10 balls at 130 yards every game.
He was here too.
He was here. And now they can't. Can't get 10 receptions.
He's on a good. He's on a good team.
Did you hear what they can't get 10 receptions?
I got it.
As a team, he's getting 10 a game.
They're not very good.
Himself.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to be 6-11 without.
Okay,
him.
but you're not willing to say that they're throwing in the towel? No,
not yet. I'd see what other moves come before the trade deadline.
Okay,
because I just don't think he moves the needle one way or the other on wins and losses.
Okay, Mike, what's up?
Good afternoon, guys. I didn't realize till last night watching the football game, that Zach Cunningham plays for the Eagles now.
He does.
Of course, when they introduced him, he didn't say Vanderbilt. He said his high school. And then right after they did all the introductions, they said there's a combined 12 players from Alabama on both teams. So that just shows you what Vanderbilt and other SEC teams have to go up against.
Is that right? He did his high school instead of college?
A lot of them do.
Yeah. Really?
Well, yeah, several of them do. A lot of them do the high school.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what does he want to say, Vanderbilt?
Well, it'd be nice to represent our one player we have playing.
Well, he's representing his high school.
Did you happen to see and I'm not griping about the ref, whatever. I am a Dolphins fan, but the Eagles had no penalties the whole game.
They're a clean football team.
Well, they did have one. They had one, but they offset. They called unsportsmanlike. The Dolphin guy kind of touched the guy and he flopped, so they called offset him. Anyway, they'll be all right. Hey, tough decision tonight, Greg. Since my Rangers staved off elimination last night, I have decided that I'm not going to go to the Kiss concert. I'm going to watch my Rangers, even though this is their final farewell tour.
For the 8th time.
Well, and where is the Kiss concert?
Bridgestone.
Because I know if it was like at a Ascend, you definitely would not have a ticket. You just sit up on the top of one of those buildings over there.
You know me too well.
Hey, okay. A few Saturdays ago, I'm doing the TSU game, and it gets over like at 8 o'clock, right, at Nissan Stadium. He sends me a picture, Schmitty, here, of him come to the concert, and it's him up on the sidewalk above Ascend Amphitheater just listening to it up there on the road.
Who was it?
Huh?
Who was it?
It was Darius Rucker.
Darius Rucker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and a few. I thought about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to be seen with him.
Wow.
I'm glad
on the
you didn't
streets
show it.
downtown.
I just happened to thank you because I saw.
I've actually considered doing what you get up there and just because I see people. I mean,
sure.
Yeah. You know, the people, here's the deal. You buy a condo right across from Ascend Amphitheater, then complain about the music.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, let me come drag your butt out of there and beat you.
Well, I won't be able to do that when they build the new Titan Stadium since it'll be indoors. But anyway, hey, real quick on the baseball, what's y'all's thought? And I understand Houston fans not being happy with Abreu. They haven't said whether he's suspended tonight or not. I understand with them and Garcia not being suspended, but as much as people want to say they don't think it was intentional, I think it was intentional.
It was. And here's the deal: if you're gonna pop him on the leg, pop him on the thigh, pop him on the butt, don't put it up around his head. Okay?
Yeah, or just don't hit him, just brush him back.
Yeah.
and then you probably just get a warning.
But there's history. There's history there between him and Maldonado. So yeah, that was no surprise.
But I mean, if they haven't done anything by now, they're not going to do anything.
They suspended Breo 2 games, and Dusty was fined and then the tournament amount, and no one else was suspended. No, who was the batter?
Garcia.
He got 1 game.
No, they got kicked out, but the guy Garcia.
I think Abreu's got.
Really?
Abreu is.
I know they both got booted, or all three of them got booted.
There's been a fine, and Abreu has been, I think, 2 games.
By the way, those games on Friday night were awesome.
Well, okay, but he's appealing it. So here's the deal: he could appeal it and kick it to next year. But yeah, he's.
Yeah, he pitched last night. But
all right. Suspension upheld for him. The suspension was upheld. Won't be served until 2024.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But I think I saw somewhere Maldonado called it, and he saw, when Garcia turned around and yelled at him, he didn't really, he wasn't surprised.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they weren't in that situation. I understand, Dusty. You don't want to put the tying run on base, right?
Well, you also look at that. You also look at, do you want to give him a chance to hit a home run again? It's like Rangers walked Alvarez last night when they had a guy on first and said, well, we got him 2-0, and we'd rather just put him on instead of having him go yard on us.
Okay, let's end it with this. Let's make our predictions. Phillies clinch tonight?
Yes.
Right after the show they start, first pitch 4:07?
Yes.
Mike, yes?
I believe so, the way Nola's pitching at home.
Well, and Schwarber and Harper launching, and Castellanos, and all of them are launching bombs.
They're pretty heavy favorite, too. I think Phillies clinch. All right.
Trey Turner.
Game 7 in Houston, who has not been a good home team this year. Astros or Rangers?
Well, this is the first Game 7 in 1,100 days. I'm hoping the road team wins again.
Well, you've got to, he used to be a bat boy for the Texas Rangers.
No, but I know, but I'm just saying Houston. To Mike saying the Rangers, but the Houston was under 500 at home this season. They did not have a good home record at all.
No, but they usually hit. They usually get pretty good right about now.
Their pitcher going tonight. He's been phenomenal in postseason the last couple of years, and you don't know what you're going to get out of Scherzer.
True.
So,
all right. Well,
anyway, I'm not booking a flight or booking tickets yet, Greg. Maybe later tonight.
Javier's been pretty dang good, really. You got to go with Houston. I'd say on the money line, Houston's probably -180. I mean, if you're going to go with who I'm pulling for the Rangers.
Well, the game starts at 7. Kiss probably won't be on stage till what, 9? So there's a chance you could do both, right? What if it gets out of hand?
There's also, I didn't know if you knew this, downtown Schmitty, they have these establishments that people go there and eat and imbibe every once in a while.
Well,
listen
there's
to country
TVs
music,
in Bridgestone.
and they have TVs.
Well, there's TVs in Bridgestone, too. Yeah.
Well, there's also, you can watch it on your phone.
Yeah. I'm just saying, he could do both, possibly.
I realize that. I'm not a huge Kiss fan. I just never seen him in concert.
Well...
I can go see them. They'll be in Knoxville next month, and tickets are twice as much. All right, y'all have a good one.
All right, you too. Really? Why would they be more in Knoxville? I figured Nashville would be the worst place for high prices. Double the price in Knoxville?
I don't believe him.
All right. We will take a break. We'll come back. More of the McFarland Show next.
Are you ready for a touchdown of flavor and excitement? Look no further than Sam's Place and Sam's Sports Grill, the ultimate destination for great food, fantastic drinks, and game time atmosphere that will have you cheering for more. Sam's is the place for every sports fan and food lover with over 40 TVs at every location. Sam's has a family friend where everyone can have a blast. From their friendly staff to awesome kids menu, they've got something for everyone. Online at samsplace.net or samsportsgrill.com, or call and find the nearest location to you. At Sam's, the game is always on and the fun never stops.
Post-COVID travel is on a surge. Many of you are traveling for fun because you've been locked up for 2 years. Listen, whether you're traveling for fun to Italy, Greece, Spain, France, or somewhere else fun in the world, or USA, now is a great time to book before the crowds hit and save. Plus, with a strong U.S. dollar, you'll get more travel bang for your buck. Right now is a smart time to make your reservations and call low-cost airlines. With one phone call, you can let us do all the work for free. We'll shop hundreds of airlines, hotels, resorts, and give you a way to save huge money on your vacation plans. And if you call right now, we'll give you a free hotel room with a qualified travel purchase. So call right now.
800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. That's 800-704-1662.
Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown is at the heart of Music City. Located within walking distance of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Bar Lines at the Omni is your downtown honky-tonk destination. Watch your team from any seat on their plentiful HD TVs and catch a live show on the Bar Lines stage featuring live music 7 days a week. Bar Lines has the ultimate Southern comfort food. Get started with classic fried green tomatoes or bourbon barbecue wings. Then it's on to the massive Smashville double stack or the world famous Bar Lines grinder. Oh, you've never heard of the Bar Lines grinder? 2 kinds of cheese, lettuce, Dijon, smoked turkey, smoked bacon, smoked ham. Now that's some smoke you want. Local brews and local spirits are on tap at Bar Lines. Take a seat on the patio outside and soak up the rhythm of Music City. Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
Do you ever feel like gambling is causing financial strain or hurting your relationships? The Gambling Clinic has been helping people who want to change their gambling habits for over 2 decades. With physical clinics and remote online appointments, we're here to help you make informed decisions about your gambling so it doesn't lead to a bigger problem. Visit us at thegamblingclinic.com so we can work together to help you win your life back. This project is funded by the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
It's a Bill King Show.
We are college football centric. That is the sun that warms our planet that we live on. Our planet actually isn't flat or round. It's an oblong spheroid. And we are here to proselytize about it, edify it every day on this here radio show.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Welcome back to the Strike and Spare Studios. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Theoretically.
You know we're having a good discussion during the break when Greg Poe goes, we're not on right now, right? Like the video is the stream.
Yeah,
I was like, no,
we're good.
We're off during the break. 6-1.
I'm in here like zanies.
Honestly, I wish people could have heard what we were talking about.
I've told those jokes on the air before.
Oh, I bet you have.
And I only got no 2 that I can tell.
I bet you have. Why does everybody believe you when you say that? 615-844-5600. We went from.
Why do I have tears? Why do I have tears in my eyes?
Never mind. All right, let's.
It's liberating when you don't give a crap, right? You know.
Let's get to some spreads.
All right, 11 o'clock, ESPN, South Carolina at Texas A&M. Texas A&M. Come on back in here. South Carolina at Texas A&M. You all right? You going to make it?
Yeah, I got
It's not that funny, really.
No,
11
it
o'clock.
Is. It's pretty good.
All right. You want to guess the spread there?
Is this at night?
You know, when John and I, we have a saying in our show.
What's that?
It's Steve Martin was a prop comic. That means you never heard a word I said. I just said 11 o'clock.
Okay.
ESPN.
I was trying to keep with the joke.
You were not in the chair.
I was trying to keep with the joke.
South Carolina, Texas A&M.
A&M by, let's see, South Carolina's gone in the dumper. A&M by 10.5.
14.
Ugh, yeah. Really?
2:30, Georgia, Florida. The cocktail party.
Yeah. Jacksonville.
CBS.
This one's not going to be, let's say, Georgia by 7.
14.5.
What? That's too much. That's too much for that game.
2:30, Mississippi State at Auburn on SEC Network.
Who is it again?
Mississippi State at Auburn. Maybe you
by
just
the way, what, Arkansas. What?
Mississippi State at Auburn.
What was going on? 3 points at home against Mississippi State? What? Auburn.
And I think Sam Pittman's a pretty decent coach too, but they're not going to win a game.
No,
them and Vanderbilt are going to be in the Walking Horse Bowl in Lewisburg.
Shelbyville.
No. The Walking Horse Bowl was in Lewisburg. Now, here's why.
Okay.
The national headquarters of is in Lewisburg. Now, the celebration is in Shelbyville. Thank you very much.
All right. Let's go Auburn. 7.5.
6.5. Hey, now you're getting better. 6 o'clock, Tennessee Vols at Kentucky on ESPN. Tennessee Vols at Kentucky.
Ooh, boy, this is a good one. It's a low line for sure. It's under a field goal. I'm gonna go Kentucky by 1.
Tennessee 3.5.
Wow,
that seems about right.
Really?
Yeah. I would. Yeah. And then 6:30 on the SEC Network, Vanderbilt at Ole Miss.
Ole Miss by
What are you grunting and groaning?
Ole Miss.
Vanderbilt at Ole Miss.
17.
25.5.
Golly. Basically, every Vandy game is like 30 or more, except for this one.
Tomorrow night.
MTSU, they playing again?
No, they're done. They're done. They're actually off this again. They're going to be off 2 straight Saturdays.
My guess is Rick Stockstill's on a beach. Like he probably just I'm getting out of here.
Nah. No, he's grinding. He's grinding. You know that. And then, but the last of the those 4 weeks of Conference USA, the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday games that they did. I watched them. I watched them.
Yeah. Justin poo-pooed it. I'm like, why? It's
football.
It's something to watch on Tuesday and Wednesday nights.
Guess what?
I'm in. I'm way in.
Who's it hurting?
Right. What?
The players.
I'm going to be watching
athletes.
ghost shows or, Secrets of the Zoo or something. I don't know. I'm going to be watching something silly. So it's
Secrets of the Zoo.
Yeah, I got weird shows. Like I have very few. I don't watch much outside of sports. So what little I do
are weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I love animals, so I watch a lot of shows about animals. A lot. And ghosts. I hate ghosts, but I'm fascinated by them.
Well, yeah.
So
what's to like about a ghost?
Well, I don't know. Some were friendly. Apparently.
Really? Well, yeah. Casper
was friendly, but I don't like them. I just
they intrigue me. So you think they exist?
I absolutely. I wouldn't watch.
Have you seen a ghost?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to live in a haunted house. I don't want to see one.
Have you think, man, that was a ghostly experience?
No.
Well, then what's the problem?
I don't get in the water with sharks, but I'm fascinated by them.
Guess what? Sharks exist. Ghosts don't.
You don't think so?
Oh, I think there are some things in the world that my mind cannot process.
Okay.
Yeah. But not ghost.
There is in Louisville, Kentucky.
Although you walk out of here, they're burning things back. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I know.
That was pretty horrible.
I know. Thanks for doing that.
That was morbid right there.
Really?
Yeah. I'm trying to get out of here early.
Let's go.
Where are we going?
To the break. And then we'll come back. By the way, we never answered Tony's question about Clark Lee and Vandy.
Yeah, I read in the Gentry Estes. There's a quote in there I want to read.
Okay.
A pull quote I did read. Yes.
We'll do that on the other side. Also, Kevin Byard traded to the Eagles, according to Diana Rossini, for a 5th and 6th round pick in next year's draft, and Terrell Edmonds. More of the McFarland Show next.
Trusted for creative design and committed to both the function and aesthetics of your smile, Jody Jones Dentistry for 26 years has provided a wide range of general and cosmetic dentistry services along Nashville's Music Row and coming soon to Hermitage and Murfreesboro. The Nashville leader for cosmetic dentistry provides a unique luxury environment for patients who want his famous Hollywood smile. Just ask the country music stars, actors, athlete. Yeah, he was 8 years the dentist for the Predators who display his celebrity smile. To learn more, visit JodyJonesDDS.com or call 615-259-5100.
I've got a unique vacation idea for you that's right here in the United States. If you're ready for a vacation that's fun and downright affordable, listen up. It's driving distance for many of you, so no planes, no airline delays, no hassles. It's Branson, Missouri, the entertainment capital of the Midwest. Live music for everyone. Branson has 3 beautiful, enormous lakes, water attractions, live shows, great food, and tons of entertainment. It's a perfect vacation for you and your family, or if you're retired and you want to have a great time. And you can stay in Branson for as low as $99 a night. Please understand, this is not a timeshare offer. It's a real vacation for as little as $99 a night. We've got a free vacation guide we want to send you right now. All you have to do is call for complete details. Get your free Branson, Missouri guide right now by calling this number.
800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. That's 800-413-3953.
Bob's Steak and Chop House, located in the Omni Nashville Hotel, is a nationally renowned steakhouse specializing in the finest corn-fed Midwestern prime beef. The menu formula is simple: incredible meat, gigantic shrimp, fabulous salads, and decadent desserts. Start your experience at Bob's with the fried calamari or fresh scallops seared in Texas burnt honey. All the beef at Bob's Steak and Chop House are USDA prime cuts, from the traditional filet of tenderloin and ribeye to the adventurous Kansas City bone-in strip. They even have 2 different surf and turf options. And if you're looking for the other white meat, Bob's Steak and Chop House serves a dry-aged pork tomahawk with homemade applesauce. Fresh seafood is on the menu, from salmon to scampi, and even fresh lobster tail. For reservations, give them a call or log on to the Omni Nashville Hotel website. Bob's Steak and Chop House at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
Dane Custom Drafting is reminding Americans to show support to the brave men and women who serve our U.S. military. Their tireless efforts should never go unnoticed. This message is brought to you by Dane Custom Drafting. They specialize in custom-designed, professionally drawn plans for homeowners in Nashville, Davidson, and the surrounding counties. For luxury home plans, modern home designs, floor plans for multiple-story homes, lake houses, cottages, bungalows, and more. Call 615-856-0377, 615-856-0377, or visit DaneContractDrafting.com. That's Dane Custom Drafting. They're professionals who care.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Stan has been waiting patiently. Stan, what's up?
I'm officially turning in Vanderbilt fan, wardrobe. I've been waiting for 40 years for this, but it's not going to happen. So I'm checking out. I hope they do well. Let's go focus on baseball and women's track, tennis, and golf, and be happy about it. So, and don't forget women's bowling.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
The McFarland Show. Video streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube from the Strike and Spare studio.
Tony on our text line. Remember, Tony called in from Nolensville, and he wanted us to comment on the Clark Lee interview by Gentry Estes from the Tennessean about fans' frustrations and his frustrations. You said you got a chance to
I've read it.
The
fans, this is Clark Lee, the fans should be frustrated because they want it now, and I expect them to want it now and understand impatience because we're impatient. We have to balance impatience with the discipline to believe in what we're doing and to stay the course in our approach. But here's the one that the quote that stood out to me is it's a good one too.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, but it's just he thought they were going to be better. Clark Lee. What I felt heading into the season was that this is the most talented team that we've had. I still feel that way, and that our margins are razor thin, and I still feel that way. Right now, we're playing at a level that's putting us 3 scores behind our SEC competition.
Correct.
So I would disagree that it may be the most talented, but their talent level is nowhere near the talent level of who they're having to face week in and week out in the SEC.
Well, it's not a great, and it's not a, I don't know, what's the best way to put this? It's not great for him to say that because it's really an indictment on him if you say it that way.
Basically, he owned
it. Hey, we're really talented. It's the most talented team I've had, and it's the worst we've been.
Is it recruiting? That's his buddy Barton Simmons. That's what falls at his feet.
They've lost a lot of players in the portal. A lot. There's a lot of players playing in the conference.
Mike Wright just led Mississippi State to a win at Arkansas.
That's what I'm saying. They've got players. Well, Ray Davis. We don't need to say that. That's why I said they've lost some kids that are playing in the conference.
Yep.
They didn't transfer to Utah State.
Well, then they're getting the talent of that level. Then I would counter that they're good enough to be able to transfer to Alabama.
They can't keep them.
Well, they're not winning.
I know.
And the transfer portal is an email a fax. An email away.
You don't think all the teammates of Ray Davis sees him having success at Kentucky?
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, man, we want to win some games too. And that Kentucky's kind of fallen off the last couple of weeks. But I'm saying when he went for like 400 yards against Florida, and they beat the Gators.
But Kentucky now is annually a bowl team.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. All right, that'll do it for our show today. Greg, thank you so much.
It's been my pleasure.
This was a lot of fun.
Let's do it again Thursday.
Okay, let's do that.
That's when Justin's back.
Yeah, he's back on Thursday, yeah.
That would be funny if I'm sitting here and he shows up.
Greg and John tomorrow from 9 until 11 o'clock. That'll do it for us today. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 2 o'clock.